guys, today I'm going to do a slightly different video. It's going to be a get ready with me, so it's going to be talky and all that. But I'm going to put in kind of a mix of products that I would really recommend, and this is everything from Estee Lauder to Maybelline. And this has been requested that I kind of talk about the products that are a little bit more expensive that I really would recommend, and these are things that have made it into my everyday routine. So, number one, I'm going to talk about brushes as well. Number one, Estee Lauder Double Wear. I was wearing the Double Wear Light, absolutely loved it, and they didn't have it when I went to repurchase, so I went and got the Double Wear Original. I thought it was going to be too heavy, I didn't think I was going to be able to blend it, and I think I'm actually using less of this than the light one. Really, really enjoying it. It is Bone, that's the colour that I've got, 1W1 Bone, and I just apply it with my fingers. What do we call this? Two shakes of an Estee Lauder Double Wear bottle. I apply it with my fingers because I just find that it gives the most natural finish. It is slightly more blendable that way, although my hands are super cold, so that's not necessarily even true today. But so far, I'm preferring to apply this with my hands, whereas the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, wow, I have something on my head that's got like a bruise. Must be like a spot or something. The Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, as I was saying, is something that I prefer to apply with a brush or with a beauty blender preferably, because there's something kind of tacky about it. This is like a totally different formula, which I wasn't expecting. I just thought this was going to be so heavy, and obviously your experience of this might be totally different to mine, but I think providing I kind of blend it out everywhere, I'm really liking it, and it lasts a long time, and the oil control is better than the original Double Wear. It's still not going to keep you matte all day, but the oil control is better. And yeah, I really like it. The only thing I would say from that range that I have tried, I don't like, is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, which looks like this. Way too thick, not at all blendable on me. But again, could be bad tube, could be me doing it wrong, I don't know. So that is that. The concealer I'm going to use is the Maybelline Erase. I think this is like the anti-age or something, I don't know. Put a little under my eyes, a little on this spot that's appeared from nowhere. Oh, on my nose. I have like a spot on my nose there. Worst thing ever. I do actually have a brightening one of that concealer that I really like, but I don't think we can get it in the UK. It's a very pale pink colour. Really nice. But this is the most blendable concealer I've ever used. It's not necessarily the most blendable. Well, no, it is. It's the most blendable that has coverage. Most of them that I've tried that blend as nicely as this just kind of aren't anything. They're very thin and they don't do anything. So it's either that or they're very thick and they'll sit in the creases in my eyes and all the fine lines and all that jazz, which you obviously don't want. So this is just the nicest one ever. I tried some other ones a couple of months ago, or even maybe a year ago, because someone told me this had been discontinued, but luckily it hasn't, so I've gone back to it. The powder I'm going to use is the MAC Blot Powder, which looks like this. I want to recommend this, not because I think it's absolutely amazing to set your makeup with in the first place. It is a nice powder, it's very finely milled. But it's a great powder for on the go. Now, I don't actually take it on the go now because I've hit pan, so I think it's going to shatter at some point. I do just set my makeup with it occasionally. It's not something I always reach for. The one from this, you can tell I've also hit pan on. This is, what was this called? Not sure. Happy Boost, I think it might have been called. It says 10 hours matte finish and boosted radiance. It was from Bourjois. I think it might have been called Happy Booster. That's also really nice. The only thing with that is I think that it oxidizes on my skin and I get dark throughout the day, which is not ideal if you are oily. But that is very comparable in how it feels on the skin and the texture. But this is amazing for putting on in the middle of the day when you're super oily and you get to the bathroom and you're like, oh my god, and you have to top up. This is really good. Something else that I really like, but I'm kind of loath to recommend it now because I know a lot of people had bad experiences with it, is the Gosh Prime and Set Powder. In fact, I might put just a little sweep of that on because I'm going to London today and it's going to be hot, I think. This Prime and Set. I really like this, but I wouldn't suggest you use it every day. It's something that definitely made my skin change. It made my skin feel and look quite dry. Not something that I could use on a regular basis. Just kind of like for a special occasion, if you're going to be out all day, or you know that it's going to be hot, or you're going to be sticky or oily or anything, and you want to avoid that. This is the only thing that's ever kept me truly matte, but it does come at a cost. Definitely not an everyday thing for me. But if you're super, super oily, maybe you'll like this. It's just kind of a little warning, it can definitely dry out your skin. So they're the powders. Next, brows. Now I'm going to give you two options here because I kind of used two options. One of them is the Soap & Glory Archery Pencil, and that looks like this. That doesn't help you at all, I need a white background. How about that? It looks like this. It's got a pencil on one end. It's different to the one that's got the felt tip on the other end. I don't like that one. Either of the sides. I feel like even the pencil side of this is different. But it's got a pencil on one end and then it's got a little spoolie on the other. I use the spoolie of this to brush through my brows, which is something I never thought I would do because they really are a bit meh, aren't they? I've got like a lot of brow towards the top and the underneath not so much, which tells me that that is through years of over plucking, because once upon a time when I was a kid it was cool to have a line of eyebrow just there, and that's basically what I'm left with, just a line of eyebrow, because you can kind of see the shadow of the very sparse brow underneath where my brow should be fuller, but in actual fact I'm just left with the line of eyebrow that I plucked for probably like 3 years in school. Not great. What I use to fill them in is, I think this is called Fling, and this is from MAC. By far the best blonde colour that I've ever found. I'm actually considering trying grey, so if anyone can recommend a grey brow pencil, I would love to know what you use, because I'm thinking that with an ash, very, very blonde hair, grey might look good. But colour aside, the texture of this is also so, so nice. It's not waxy at all. If you don't like waxy eyebrow pencils, this is amazing. But it's also, it's so difficult to explain brow products because everyone wants something different. But for me, I want it to be dry, but I want it to be pigmented, but I don't want it to be so pigmented that I can go overboard with it. I don't know if it's the colour of this that means I can kind of apply it lightly or apply it dark and it's not too bad, it's not too bold for me. But I love everything about it. It can crumble a little bit, which is annoying. These twisty pencils, if you drop them, they can break in the middle, and then when you twist them up, they fall out, which is really irritating, because I think this is around, I say like 14 or 16 pounds. That being said, for every 6 products you use from MAC, you can go back and get a free lipstick. So it doesn't make it that much better, but that knocks off a few quid each time you buy one if you are going to take it back. And I think I have 4 currently to take back, and I'm going to go and repurchase one of these today because I like to have one in. If you're not so bothered about colour, Rimmel do my favourite brow pencil, actual like sharpenable pencil, in texture, but unfortunately they don't do anything that suits my hair colour right now. But if I was darker, I wouldn't pay the extra to have the matte pencil. It's only because my hair is so blonde at the moment. And as we know, that is changeable. You just never know what I might do. The pencil on the end of the Soap & Glory one is nice. It's a little bit too waxy. It's not got quite as much pigmentation. It's not quite as soft. And so it's a bit harder to get the colour off, but it's also a really, really good colour for blondes. So if you are on a budget, I would recommend you try this one, especially if your brows aren't as sparse as mine, because I kind of have to create them from nothing. Whereas if you just need a little bit of filling in and taming, then you'll probably really like this one. The colour on that is very good. Where are we at? I might do eyes next. Oh, I'm going to use a primer. I don't often use a primer, but I'm gonna, because I'm going to be out all day. Plus I'm going to a makeup course, so I kind of feel like my makeup should be like on point. In fact, I feel like I should just put foundation everywhere, just to be on the safe side. I try to blend it. Well, number one, I try to make sure my foundation's the right colour for my face, so it doesn't need to be blended all that much, but I try to kind of blend it all around my jawline. But really, it's the people that see you from different angles that'll go, ooh, that doesn't look so great. And if I'm going to a makeup course, I'm obviously going to be surrounded by people that are into that kind of thing, and I don't really want people staring at my jawline like, what has she done? But yeah, I'm going to use a primer I think I'm gonna have to take my makeup off today. I'm gonna kind of be my own model, so I don't know even why I'm doing this. Because I probably should have just gone with the absolute bare minimum basic makeup possible. It's probably a huge mistake. But hey, I'm filming it for you guys. My favourite quad from MAC, someone asked recently what my favourite products were. I will do that video, but I'll probably do it on my other channel because I know most of you guys, or some of you guys, not so interested in the higher end stuff. But this is the quad that I put together from MAC. I have lots of MAC shadows, but when I went away most recently, I thought, right, I'm going to put my absolute favourites together, and these were they. They are Wedge, I think that's Tartar Tint, it's a warm brown, beautiful. Satin Taupe and Naked Lunch. They are my favourites. And I told you I was going to tell you brushes. This is the powder brush from Real Techniques. That's what I used for my powder. And then I'm going to use this Scandaleyes 941. It's just a flat brush. It could be anywhere. It could be from anywhere, rather. I'm going to use that to put Naked Lunch all over. I love this so much. It's just like a sheen. It's not too shimmery at all. And you can kind of just put it everywhere because I'm not one for a big brow bone highlight at all. But you can kind of just put it everywhere and it doesn't look too high impact, shimmery, frosty, anything. I must check the time because I do have somewhere to be at some point. Yeah, it just kind of makes everything look a bit more awake and glowy and all that stuff. Then I'm actually going to use the same brush and with Satin Taupe. Shall I go with Satin Taupe? I'm going to go with Wedge, a matte colour, for my crease is the word. My alarm was going off upstairs, I think. I'm running out of time. Yeah, so this, what was I even saying? I have no idea. I love Wedge for in my crease. I think I've gone overboard on that left eye. I used to wear this, gosh, what was it? I had, do you know, I think it was an Urban Decay colour. This brush is the base shadow brush from Makeup, no, I didn't say Makeup Revolution, that's wrong. Real Techniques, still an R. Yeah, I think it was like a very, very matte, creamy, almost just like foundation colour from Urban Decay. It was called ABC Gum. And I used to wear that all over my lid and then Wedge in my crease. I feel like that is just gone too much. Okay, so just like a little bit of something. Then I'm going to use my Maybelline Colour Tattoo. Now I would be using a different one, but I do not know where I've put them. I have a couple of favourites and they're kind of bronzy coloured, but I got them from Amazon and they were American only colours. And I think it's like spicy bronze and something else, something a bit more nude. I forget the name. But I like this particular look, but it doesn't last. I like to put a little bit of shadow underneath my eye, but it doesn't last. So I put something like this underneath and it tends to last a little bit longer. And even if it doesn't, hang on now, even if it doesn't last the actual shadow on top, you're still left with some kind of definition from the Colour Tattoo. I just turned you off, alarm. But I flip between this kind of definition, this kind of liner, because I'm not big on pencil liner, I'm just not very good at it. And I'll go between this kind of pencil liner and liquid liner. And because I knew I was probably going to have to take off my makeup at some point today, or at least some bit, I didn't want to add too much black in case it was a real pain to take off. Because I'm not taking anything with me. I'm assuming, you know, we're going to a house of makeup. They're going to have stuff to remove black eye makeup, but you know what I mean. I wanted to make it as easy as possible. So now over the top, preferably whilst it's still a little bit wet, that Colour Tattoo, not that it really ever is because it's kind of dry straight away, I'm going to go in with Satin Taupe. Again, I feel like I've done heavier on one side than the other, but this time heavier on the right side. That'll do. Do look a little bit like I've been punched in the face, but that's cool. The mascara! The mascara is not high-end. I have never found a high-end mascara that I really felt was worth the money. So I hardly ever try them, because I tried a few back in the day and then decided that they weren't really worth the money. So this Maybelline Lash Sensational is my flavour of the moment. Absolutely love this. I feel like I should get together all the mascaras, because when I did my makeup collection the other week, I went through all my mascaras and was like, oh, I'd forgotten about this and I'd forgotten about that. I think I might just do a whole video of all the mascaras I've ever liked, because I think that I'm really picky when it comes to mascara. And if someone sends me a mascara to review, I'm like, Or if they'll send me like a list of products from a new line, or from kind of a seasonal thing, and be like, oh, which would you like to try? And I would never choose the mascara, because I just think I'm gonna hate it. I'm so picky, and that's another reason that I don't like higher end mascaras, because I'm so picky. If I spend £5 or £6 on a mascara and I don't like it, I'm like, meh. If I spend £25 on a mascara, I'm going to be pretty pissed off, and the chances of me not liking it are high. So I might make that video. Let me know if you would be interested in that video. But this is seriously lengthening. It also kind of gives you volume. I don't know how it does it, or what it does, or why we need to pull these faces when we do our mascara. Maybe we don't, maybe it's just me. Super annoying. You're never really done with mascara, are you? It is the bane of my life. I could be so quick. You know when you do like the 5-minute makeup challenge? I could be so quick if it wasn't for mascara. Right, I kind of feel like I need some kind of lip balm. I have a situation going on with some dryness. Here, this'll do. Ooh. It's a Walgreens. Oh, it's sweet. It's a Walgreens lip balm I haven't tried yet, that I bought while we were in Las Vegas. I don't like that. It's very strong smelling of watermelon, which is not surprising, that's what it's supposed to smell like. But that is like, oh, it's sweet. I don't like it. That's one for the kids, I think. For lips, oh, I haven't done cheeks yet. We'll do cheeks. This was a toss-up between this and a Burberry blush. Burberry blushes are insanely overpriced, like mad money. However, they're very, very nice. I think they're like £29. It's just insane. I wanted to mention them because if you were thinking of treating yourself to something really special, buying something for a friend, or asking for something, if you're kind of like the girl that has everything, then they are really, really nice. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to recommend anything else from Burberry Beauty, but the blushes are excellent. But what I really want to recommend is something that I wear at least 2 times a week, every week, and it's this. It's MAC Stereo Rose. I don't think I've ever used a blush as much as this, and I've had a lot of comments on videos, because I will, as much as possible, try to list what I'm wearing in the information bar, and I get a lot of comments saying I knew it was going to be that, because whenever I look in the information bar for what you're wearing, it's that. And in fairness, 90% of the time it's probably going to be that anyway. But I wanted to mention it because it's not always available. It is limited edition. I know people have said it's changed and all that stuff. But if you can get your hands on it, it's excellent. Also, I haven't tried anything else, any other baked blushes from MAC, but if anyone wants to give a recommendation of something similar, or just tell me whether or not it's just kind of one formula in different colours, because it's the formula, it's not necessarily the colour that is amazing. But there's something, I mean, I like my my baked products a lot, and there are a lot of much cheaper versions out there that I also really, really enjoy, but there's something about this, it is the formula, it's the sheen that it gives, that's just like, amazingness. It's like a super glow, and this brush is the blush brush from Real Techniques. I actually bought this when I bought the blusher, when I bought Stereo Rose. I went and bought this from Boots because I didn't have anything with me and I had to apply it right then and there. And it's been a happy little relationship ever since. There's just something about it that I absolutely love, and I would highly recommend. Probably of everything that I've mentioned, it's a major, major favourite. Okay, And it doesn't even look like I'm wearing much. It's just, because I'm so pale, I'm very aware of kind of too bold blush colours, and that is just beautiful. Lips. This is something I've been wearing a lot. Oh, in fact, I was going to go in and put a little bit of Nude liner. Might be difficult now, but I'm going to try. This is Rimmel's Scandaleyes in Nude. Who knew? Nude. I'm going to try and do this. Okay, a little bit of Nude eyeliner. Lips for the third time. Yeah, this kind of whole makeup look is something that I wear quite frequently. It just depends on whether or not I do liquid liner or this kind of smudgy liner. But the lip products I'm going to use, the Exaggerate Rimmel lip liner in Eastend Snob, which I know you will have heard of. And I'm going to fill in all of my lips with this. This is like, it's so gorgeous even by itself. But I think I would need a lip balm underneath. Just at the moment my lips are super dry. Okay, so that's the liner done. The lipstick is MAC Faux. And again, this is something that I've worn a lot in videos and I've had a lot of questions about. I would say it's very, very similar. It's not the same in texture, but it's very similar. Where is it? Is it that one or is it this one? No, it's more this one. To Essence Cool Nude. So if you were after this kind of colour, maybe over here, if you were after this kind of colour and you weren't super bothered about the texture, because if you put it over a lip liner, and it's a very, very dry lip liner, which the Rimmel, which the Rimmel one would be without the balm, and you'd probably get slightly more of this texture. But the MAC one it is cream, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's satin, so it is slightly drier. And that is part of what I like about it. I prefer a matte lipstick anyway. But if you were wanting kind of a budget alternative, I've been wearing these a lot. These two Essence Nude colours that I bought not that long ago. I've been wearing those a lot over the same lip liner. But lots of people ask me if I was going to buy one MAC lipstick, what would it be? This would be one of my top recommendations. She's got super dry lips. This and probably like Brave, things that are quite neutral, wearable colours, purely because, I mean, for me, I like to spend money on something that's like, pow, in your face, totally different colour than something that you can buy from the drugstore, something really unusual. I feel like that's where it's worth the money because it's so unusual, and I would have said that this is quite an unusual colour. I know that it looks like a basic nude, but it is cool. It's kind of taupey coloured, almost like a greyish nude, which is why I made a big deal when I found those Essence ones, because it's such a non-drugstore colour. It's quite an unusual colour, but a lot of people feel like they have to get their money's worth, and so they want something they can wear every day. It all just depends on how your mind works with regards to spending on higher end stuff. I would rather kind of have a collection of things that are really unusual or that I can't buy anywhere else. Like for example the Estee Lauder Double Wear. When I originally bought the Double Wear Light, I didn't intend to wear it every day. I thought, like, if I would wear it every day, that's insane. I would never repurchase a £29 foundation if I was going to wear it every day. And in fairness, I don't wear makeup every day. We're probably talking 3 or 4 days a week. But I now would use that foundation almost exclusively, and I'd be happy to repurchase it. So, you know what I mean? Like, perspective changes. I would rather spend money on something that I feel like I can't get at the drugstore, because there's so many amazing products that you can get from Boots and Superdrug now without spending a lot of money. I kind of like to test as many out and exhaust a particular area before I think, right, okay, maybe I'll try something more expensive. And that's kind of what's happened here. The products that I'm recommending are products that I just feel like I cannot quite dupe for a cheaper cost, which is why I didn't put in the Burberry blush, because the Burberry blush is so beautiful, but it's so expensive and it's not amazing enough. It's not kind of amazing. It's just not amazing enough for me to be able to tell you that you should spend £29 on it. It is really, really nice, but it's definitely a treat purchase as opposed to a you need this. Whereas the brow pencil from MAC, if you are blonde, you will love it. Stereo Rose from MAC is just excellent. and probably all of their kind of marbleized, or whatever they're called, are they called marbleized? I feel like there's a name for them, but whatever it is, mineralized. Probably all of those are very, very similar. The foundation works really well for my oily skin, and what else did I talk about? The eyeshadows, I've put them in there because people want to know what my favourites are, and they are probably my 4 favourites, but it's been a long time since I've bought high-end eyeshadows that I can think of, unless they were kind of like special edition or whatever. I haven't gone out of my way because there are so many brands that I really, really like, that are really great quality and just aren't expensive anymore. So I would have said once upon a time eyeshadow was one of the things that was worth spending a little bit more money on, but now there are so many options that are great for not a lot of money, maybe not anymore. But if you want me to do kind of a whole separate video about, you know, where you can save and where you can spend, it's all going to really come down to preference. But I'm happy to make that video and let you know kind of where I feel like the areas of the drugstore you should shop for different things, and where I feel like you should go maybe elsewhere if you're not finding what you want. But that is it. That is my makeup look. It's going to probably be the world's longest get ready with me, but I hope you liked it. Don't forget to check out my other channels. I do a channel that is non-budget beauty, so I'll link that below. But for those of you that are budget beauty friendly only, don't worry, I'm not making any major changes. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of the other products that I like. And that is probably a sign that I should go. I will see you guys next time.